because it's very exciting of what's happening here, and the place looks great, and to see all the kids, how can you not be in a mood for Advent, which is the first Sunday of the church calendar year, where we decorate and anticipate the coming of Christ. Advent doesn't get much press time in the news or in the stores. Maybe you saw the clips on TV as I did. People out on Black and Blue Friday, camping in front of department stores at 4 a.m., hoping to get the deal of deals, where they can fight through the doors and shove their way down the aisles in a stampede of Yuletide cheer. And if you've ever been in the store at that moment, it's like a hockey game where frail, little old blue-haired ladies do power plays and body check you right out of the 12 items or less line. Toys and video games and electronics and appliances and a refrigerator with a flat screen TV in the door. Or an Apple iWatch. It fits right on your wrist so you can watch Guardians of the Galaxy 2 during the sermon. And you know, it doesn't matter how many times they play Bing Crosby's I'm Dreamin' of a White Christmas. Because you know, it's still about a black Christmas, where the stores can change their red ink into black ink. And it never fails, some TV journalist, and I use the term loosely, will tell me on December 26th that it was a good Christmas because retail sales were up 3% from last year. They should be boiled in their own plum pudding and buried with a stake of holly through their hearts. It's not that I'm a Scrooge. I just want Christ to be the center of Christmas. And this is what the 4 weeks of Advent is all about. Preparing our hearts and our minds for a Christmas that includes Christ. On this first Sunday of Advent, we anticipate the birth of Jesus breaking into the night of the world in this great cosmic moment of hope. Not in a stable, not in a mall. In Bethlehem, not on Amazon.com. Instead of pursuing the perfect gift at the lowest price, instead of our holiday becoming a hassle day, we become like the wise men on a journey to discover the King of Kings. We are like the Rebel Alliance in the movie Star Wars Rogue One, who stole the plans from the evil empire so that they could destroy the Death Star. The guard enters the command station. Your Highness, the transmission we received. She takes the disc from him. What is it they've sent us? The guard asks. And Princess Leia replies, hope. It is hope. The Force be with you. Also with you. Good Episcopalians. We are the Rebel Alliance. We are excited about what's coming. We know what Christmas hope means. And we look to God with childlike wonder. Consider these short letters to Santa. From a 4-year-old. Dear Santa, I'm sorry, but I don't have a chimney. I'll leave the cat flap unlocked for you. P.S. Watch out for the litter box. A 7-year-old. I have been good these last few days. How bad can I be before I start losing presents? Dear Santa, did you really run over my grandma with your reindeer? A 7-year-old boy writes, Dear Santa, please don't bring me any new clothes. And finally, a little girl writes this exhortation. Dear Santa, do you know Jesus is the real reason of Christmas? Not to be mean, but he is. This week, I think Santa knows, by the way, this week we lit the candle of hope. Hope is a theological virtue. And as Christians, we hope differently than non-Christians. It's different. I don't mean to be mean, but it is. Christians believe they live in the presence of God. We have this quiet confidence that whatever life throws at us, we'll never give up because God is with us. And Christians look forward to the eternal world, which is not the same as wishful thinking or escapism. And it doesn't mean that we are to leave the present world as it is, walk around with our heads in the clouds. But if you read your history, you will find that the Christians who did the most for the present world were just those who thought the most of the next. Most people, if they took even a minute to look deep into their hearts, would know that what they want, what they really long for, is something that cannot be manufactured in this world. They long for more. They long to belong, to be loved, to have a purpose, to find peace, to know joy, and to experience something or someone to hope in. And you can't buy that in any store. You can't wrap it or package it or put it on sale or exchange it on the stock market. Today, we lit our first candle, our Advent candle, hope. And I know many of you see this candle and you have had a tough year. I know we all saw a lot of scary stuff on the news and experienced some real difficulties in our lives. The world can seem so dark. In the dark, we don't have to look at the pain. We don't have to look at the suffering. We don't even have to look at each other because it's dark. We can hide and we can get used to it, and our eyes can become weak in the dark. But something happens when we light a candle in a dark room. We can't call it dark anymore. One light gives hope. One light illuminates the way for more. One light shows us that all is not lost. All is not dark. In a crazy, dark, and noisy world, one light of hope may be enough. Enough to see the world isn't as scary as we thought, despite those who may say otherwise. There is hope for the future. There is hope for our families. There is hope for the world. Today we lit the first candle. Now we can see the way to light others. Now we can be the light. We can be the rebel alliance to bring the hope of Jesus to the world. Amen.